There were dolphins, there were ghosts, there were alligators, there were rainbow-colored houses. There was so much delicious food, I had trouble getting my jeans on this morning. What am I talking about? Spring break in Charleston, South Carolina. I actually had never really done anything for spring break, and since this is my last ever spring break after 20 years of formal education, we decided to take advantage of it and go on a trip with friends. And we drove down, there were 5 of us, and we drove down to Charleston, South Carolina on Sunday, taking a nice leisurely pace. It was a bit different than family vacations where bathroom breaks have to coincide with lunch or dinner breaks, you know, or gassing up. So it's nice to just take a nice easy pace down there. We arrived and checked in and decided to stroll around the city at night and also have dinner at this wonderful seafood place. Unfortunately, for part of my Lent thing this year, I'd given up food. I hadn't given up food. I'd given up meat for a week, type of food, so unfortunately that meant no seafood, but I had delicious fried green tomatoes over grits. On Monday, we strolled through downtown Charleston along King Street and Market Street and meeting. We looked along the cool marketplace that they have there, a lot of artisan stuff for sale, and we also went down King Street where there's a lot of great shopping, and we also then at night went to just a sports bar called Wild Wings and watched VCU win the CAA, which made one of the girls quite happy as she was a VCU alum. And then we went on a ghost tour. Ooh. I've never done one of those, and it was interesting. There's some neat stories being shared. Our tour guide was really great and did a good job dealing with a couple of girls who may have had a couple celebratory drinks and had come down with a case of the giggles, but hopefully not too bad. It was enjoyable, and then after that we went right back to the hotel because Tuesday was an early morning. We got up, I'll say right around 7 a.m. because we had to get out to a place where we could take a ferry to Bull Island, which is a 7-mile by 1.5-mile nature sanctuary just off the coast of South Carolina, and run by the State Parks Department, I'm pretty sure. And we were able to just kind of hike, stroll along the interior of the island and along the outside of the island along the beach. And while we were there, I did my best Crocodile Dundee / Croc Hunter impression because there were alligators. So baby, we're in a precarious position standing between a gator and its offspring young.
I hope that gator like too young to have
How old do you think that gator is? Who's the expert here? Who's got the accent? Australian, New Zealand mixed with a little bit of South African and Cockney. We saw our first gators and they were vicious beasts. We barely escaped with our lives. And lots of other cool wildlife. Oh, and I didn't mention, but the day before we actually got to see some dolphins swimming around off the coast of Rainbow Row, which are some gorgeous houses. And I'm sure it's kind of awkward that now I have pictures of a bunch of different places where people live. Hopefully they don't mind. I mean, they're that pretty, they have to be kind of used to people taking pictures of their houses by now. Tuesday, after we got back, we had some chill time hanging around the hotel, and then we got all gussied up and went out for a night on the town in our nice dresses, but not before stopping off on the marketplace, because when you look good, you gotta show people that you look good, right? I had a delicious vegetable calzone, which was really good and cheesy and way too much food, but of course I ate it all. And then we went to a Kaminsky's dessert bar, which is one of the best ideas ever. And I had a Oreo milkshake with Bailey's in it, which was delicious. And some other people had brownies or sundaes or chocolate mousse. And then we went to a neat place called the Gin Joint, which specializes in pre-prohibition era drinks. And I was able to try something called a Violet Fizz, which sounds about as awesome and cool as it looks and tastes. And then Wednesday was our last full day there. We actually also had a slightly early morning, but slightly less early than Tuesday, because we went out kayaking along Shem Creek, and we were able to see a bunch of wild birds, and had kind of, between the 2 days, had a lot of like nature lessons, and it was fantastic to be outside. And I even remember sunscreen on my face and my hands, and I wore a long sleeve shirt. But then kayaking got kind of hot, so I rolled up my sleeves, and I don't know if you can see it here, but I have some lovely dual colored skin. It almost looks like I have sleeves on right now, even though I don't. It's just kind of a bummer because I remember sunscreen, but then forgot to put it on when I rolled up my sleeves. The theme of Wednesday evening was reunions, because one of the girls, her cousin owns a restaurant down in kind of northern Charleston called EVO, which was delicious pizza. And I was actually able to catch up with my cousin, who was down in Charleston going to dental school, and I had not seen her. I guess technically she's my second cousin, but I hadn't seen her, I want to say like almost 10 years, if not more. So that was really great to catch up on her life and catch up with each other. And then one of the other girls there had a friend in downtown Charleston. We ended up meeting up with her at a restaurant called Taco Boy, which, when a restaurant's called Taco Boy, you have to try a taco, right? So we ended up, even though we didn't really have a lunch, but then we all ended up having kind of 2 dinners, which led to me not feeling super hot. Later on that night, my stomach was not happy. So Thursday we made sure to eat lots of salad and fruit and lots of healthier food. Definitely had some sing-alongs in the car, and it was really fun, and I'm kind of glad to be home, because what came in the mail for me but Triple J's Hottest 100 of 2011, and it's one of my favorite ways to get good music. They do this survey at the end of every year, and it's how a lot of music that ends up on the top part of the countdown ends up getting big in the U.S. Mumford & Sons, Kings of Leon, Florence and the Machine, Foster the People were all on that survey before they got big in the U.S. And right now, #1 from last year is Gautier, somebody that I used to know, and I'm actually seeing him in concert at the end of the month, which is going to be awesome. So anyway, that came in the mail, so it wasn't too disappointing to come home, and I'm about to now drive up and see my family and kind of enjoy the last 3 days before I have to go back to school. But at least it's like we're in single-digit numbers, and not single-digit numbers, we're in, I think, single-digit weeks and double-digit numbers left of law school and left with school, so it's going to be so exciting to be done with all of that. So I hope you have been having at least a semi-fantastic week also. It was a pretty good spring break overall. We'll see how the last 3 days go, but enjoying what might be the last one, but definitely not the least. And I'll be hopefully doing something really great that doesn't involve spring breaks, but does involve a paycheck, so that'll be something new for next year. Anyway, can't think of a way to sign off, so I'm just going to say bye. Bye.
My Australian friends, if they ever see this, will be very upset at my accent.
Gator attacks can come at you from any angle. See you later, alligators.